for North Coast.
Clearly, this minister doesn't know the details of this file because we've lost Greyhound bus service in the last 15 years. We've gone from 22 trips between Prince Rupert and Prince George down to 15. The train service is practically obsolete now that the Port of Prince Rupert has expanded. My question is for the Premier, and boy, she wouldn't believe what her ministers have been up to while she's been away. I want to remind the Premier that BC has the most unsolved cases of missing and murdered women in this country. More women have disappeared in British Columbia than any other province. It's wrong to suggest we should wait for more women to go missing before we take action. Again, to the Premier, will she commit today to bring in the bus service urged by the Missing Women's Commission, yes or no?
Minister of Transportation and Infrastructure.
Thank you, Honourable Speaker. Government remains committed to acting on the recommendation from the Missing Women's Report with respect to identifying safer transportation options for this corridor. This is why last summer staff from the Ministry of Transportation met with over 80 First Nations and municipal leaders and other organizations, frankly, up and down that corridor. Very good discussion was had in those meetings. Lots of ideas were put on the table. And a number of those ideas have been followed through. Honourable Speaker, we have established a web portal which makes it much easier for people through this corridor to access all of the existing resources that are available to them. We also have established a strategy that provides funding to First Nations so that there can be increased training for driver education, safe driver and driving license programs for First Nations. As the Minister of Aboriginal Reconciliation mentioned previously today, cell coverage has been consistently improved through this region. BC Transit, the Government of British Columbia provides about $1.5 million through BC Transit to provide local transit options. There's the Northern Health Bus. So there are a wide range of services in place today. Can we do more? We're always looking at additional strategies, additional services that can be provided to further enhance the safety throughout this corridor.
Thank you, Minister. Member for North Coast on a supplemental.
Thank you, Honourable Speaker. The Missing Women's Commission urged this government to bring in safe, affordable transportation for northern communities so that women wouldn't be forced to hitchhike to buy groceries or go to appointments. Instead, this government put together a website, or the web portal, as the minister just spoke of, that you'd never find if you knew where to look. And if you did find it, you know what's on there? A link to limousine companies. Does the minister really think that a website listing limousines is going to be of any use to the young women hitching on Highway 16?
Minister of Transportation and Infrastructure.
Thank you, Honourable Speaker. What's, I think, really important here is identifying practical solutions that, when implemented, will actually make a difference. And that is why, Honourable Speaker, on the question of a shuttle bus type service, I think it's important to acknowledge, and we certainly heard this in many of the discussions that were had when we were up there last summer. The distance from Prince Rupert to Prince George is 718 kilometers. That's an 8-hour drive in good driving conditions. Putting a shuttle bus on that length of highway with that amount of hours of driving was not identified as a practical solution by the people who live up there, Honourable Speaker. What is practical is making strategic investments to enable First Nations to educate their own from a driver licensing perspective, to enhance transit services that are there. The web portal is not a throwaway initiative, Honourable Speaker. It provides links to a broad range of services that are currently available. And Honourable Speaker, we will continue to assess other options to improve the safety through this corridor.